In the heart of Yumuse, a village wrapped in green hills and red earth, life was simple. Every Nkwo market day, the villagers gathered to trade, laugh, gossip, and breathe the air of survival. That Thursday began like any other. Obianuju, a graceful 27-year-old mother, woke up to the sound of her baby's soft breathing and the crowing of the cock. Her husband, Ibube, had already left for the farm. She kissed her son, Chikamso, who was barely 3, and promised to bring him something sweet from the market. She wore her wrapper, tied a scarf, and carried her woven basket. But as she walked away from her compound, she didn't know she was also walking away from the version of herself she'd always known. The market would not just change her day. It would change her destiny. Nkwo market buzzed with life. The scent of fried akara, fresh fish, and roasted plantain filled the air. Obianuju walked with purpose. She bought vegetables, augury, smoked meat, and wrappers. She stopped at Mama Ijike's stall for spices and laughed heartily over jokes. Then, as she bent down to inspect a basket of peppers, she felt it, a prickle at the back of her neck. She looked up slowly, and her blood turned to ice. Across the crowded market stood a tall man in black. His eyes were cold. His skin bore scars of a life lived on the edge, and his lips curled into a smirk that only one person ever wore that way. Medina, the man she had loved, the man who had vanished, the man she thought was dead. 7 years ago, Obianuju had been a different girl, young, naive, in love. So Medina had promised her the world. "You'll be my queen," he'd say. "We'll leave this village and rule the city." But he had a dark side. At first, it was subtle. Whispers with strange men, money he couldn't explain, trips he never spoke of. Then came the night she followed him, and saw him exchanging a crying child for a bag of cash. Her soul shattered. She reported him. She helped the authorities capture him. He was jailed. She never looked back. But later rumors came. So Medina was killed in prison during a riot. Obianuju believed it, mourned it, moved on, married Ibube, had a child. Now here he was, alive, watching her, smiling. She dropped her basket and ran. Obianuju didn't stop running until she reached her compound. "Chikamso! Chikamso!" she called. Silence. She rushed into the house. Her son's slippers were near the mat, but he wasn't inside. She checked under the bed, in the kitchen, at the neighbors. Nothing. Then she saw it, a folded paper on the floor. Note. She picked it up, hands trembling. "I told you I'd come back. You took everything from me. Now I take from you. Confess the truth, or watch your son disappear forever." He screamed, fell to the floor, shouted until the neighbors came. But only one person could truly help her now. Ibube. When Ibube returned from the farm, he met a broken woman. She told him everything, from the love with Medina to the betrayal and trial, to his supposed death. And now his return. Ibube stood in silence. "You never told me," he said softly. "I was ashamed, buried it. I thought it was over," she cried. "I don't care about your past. Care about our son. We will find him." For the first time that day, she found strength in Ibube's arms. Together, they reported to the village police. But as expected, the officers in town laughed them off. A ghost came back. "Madam, go and rest." They were alone, but they were determined. So Medina began to play games. Obianuju received a phone call that night. His voice still deep, still venomous. "I could have killed him, Uju. But where's the fun in that? What do you want from me? I want you to feel it. The loss, the betrayal, the pain." He dropped hints and riddles. Child's drawing. A locket they'd shared in the past. A photo of Chikamso, alive but blindfolded. He was near, but where? They remembered that Medina had once hidden things in the abandoned Agbo forest, a place once used for rituals, now feared by all. They would search it. The next morning, Obianuju and Ibube, armed with a lantern and cutlass, entered Agbo forest. The path was narrow, overgrown, and filled with whispers of the past. They came across a torn shirt that belonged to Chikamso, bloody stone, a half-burned drawing he made just a week ago. Tears streamed down Obianuju's face. Then, in a clearing they saw smoke. An old shed, once a school storehouse, was glowing faintly. Ibube signaled to move slowly. As they crept forward they heard a voice. Sumadina. Time's up, Obianuju. Say goodbye to everything you love. They burst in. Somadina stood by a candlelit shrine. He was shirtless. In front of him was Chikamso, tied to a chair, silent, tears in his eyes. Obianuju screamed, "You can take me, kill me. Just let my son go." Somadina looked at her. "You never begged for me like this. You buried me with your lies." Ibube raised his cutlass. "Let him go before I turn your ghost story into truth." Somadina rushed at him. They fought brutally, blows landing hard, blood spilling. Obianuju screamed for help. Chikamso cried. Suddenly, 2 hunters from the forest, hearing the commotion, arrived with Dane guns. They shot into the air. Somadina froze. He was overpowered, tied, and taken away. Chikamso was freed, bruised but alive. The next morning the village was quiet. Word had spread. Some called Obianuju a hero. Others whispered that her past brought a curse. But she didn't care. Her son was home. Her husband stood by her. She had survived, but something had died. Her peace, her innocence, her trust in the safety of the past. Obianuju stared at the mirror. "The day I went to the market," she whispered, "was the day my old life ended. But in its place, a stronger woman was born." This is the gracious voice. Thank you for watching this emotional African story. If this touched your heart, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. More powerful stories are coming every week. You never know what a simple day can become.